This weekend, boys, it's UFC 318. We got Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway, the trilogy, the third fight. We don't see that many trilogies where the dude is going into it 0-2 in the trilogy, but it is what it is. They even put up a fake belt, Max's fake belt, for Dustin's retirement. It's his special day. This is bigger than his birthday. Let's keep it a stack. They literally gave Max Holloway his belt that Ilia Topuria took from him and said, here, Dustin, you could fight for this little fake belt, okay? Now, there are 14 fights on this card. Normally, there's 12 fights on a UFC card, so I'm just a little, I'm a little excited if I'm going to be honest with you. But I'm here to give you guys my full picks and predictions for the whole card. Let's get into it. The first fight is a women's fight. What a shocker. Carly Judice versus Nicole Kalari. Carly Judice is 4-2. That record is absolutely despicable, but for whatever reason, she's the favorite. Okay. Nicole Kalari is 8-3, and let's be for real. Both of these ladies are pretty beautiful. They're pretty bad, okay? Carly Jalous, whatever Shawty's name is. Shawty right here on this side, right here. On I was gonna say my right. I can't tell. Listen, I'm recording. I can't do the math in my head. Whatever. Cardi, right here. She's a prettier looking one. We're going to go with her. Moving on, boys. We got Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson McVeigh. We're at 185. Listen, Bruno Ferreira is 13-2. He's coming off of a win over Arman Petrosian where he armbarred this dude in round 2. Okay, complete shocker to me. I had Arman winning that. Okay. Before that, Abus Magomedov arm triangle choked him in round 3. So he's 1-1 in his last 2. Not bad. I mean, the loss against Abus Magomedov? A loss against Abus Magomedov is not bad. But my boy Jason McVeigh, nicknamed the Moose, is 6-0. He's coming off of having a canceled bout against Cedric Dumas. Cedric Dumas couldn't get his ankle monitor cut off in time, so they had to get my boy a new squabble. So they got him Bruno Ferreira. Let's keep it a stack. I think that Jackson McVeigh got this in the bag. I want to bet. My brain is telling me Bruno Ferreira. Listen, Bruno Ferreira knocked out Phil Haas in round 1. Okay, that's a solid name to your resume. It absolutely is. But something is telling me this kid Jackson McVeigh is a little special. He's a little special. Okay, 6-0 professional. 6-0 professionally. He's never even had a UFC fight. He's had 2 UFC fights canceled on his contract. Cedric Dumas and Christopher Ure. Both canceled. Nobody wants to squabble up. Bruno Ferreira accepted the challenge, but we're going with Jackson McVeigh. Okay, moving on, boys. Ryan Spann versus Ludacris Brzezinski. Okay, listen, Ryan Spann, we all know the dude with the Superman tattoo on his chest. Very iconic. He's 22-11. My boy has a 2.0 win-loss ratio, okay, right there. He's coming off of a loss against Waldo Catas Acosta. In round 2, he got knocked out. Previous to that, he beat Oven St. Preux in a guillotine choke. Round 1, hey, what an animal. But before then, he went on a 3-fight losing streak. He lost to Nikita Krylov triangle choke round 1. Anthony Smith decision split. And Bogdan Gustav round 2 ground and pound. Listen, you lose to Anthony Smith, you lose my betting confidence in you. Absolutely. Now, Ryan Spann is on the tail end of his career. He's only 33, but again, this dude has had like 34 fights. He is kind of on his tail end of his career. Lucas Bareski is 33, so these dudes are kind of in the same age range. He's 9-6. So his record is dog water compared to Ryan Spann, but he's the only person to beat Walter Walker. The leg scraper, the foot collector. Walker Walker is Johnny Walker's brother. He's on a 3-fight winning streak, winning all 3 fights by round 1 heel hook. He is the only person to beat Walter Walker, and he took Walter Walker to a unanimous decision. Again, in every single video, there's an area where I can't speak for whatever reason. After he beat up Walter Walker, he lost to Mick Parkin, got knocked out, and then got knocked out by Kennedy Nazujuku, who we just saw get his ankle picked by Walter Walker. Okay, so I don't know who I'm picking for this fight. This kind of seems like a coin toss up in the air. I think I'm going to go with Ryan's. Nah, I mean, like I can't. You lost to Anthony Smith, brother. I cannot put my hard-earned money from the coal mines on your name. I'm so sorry. We're going to be going with Lucas Brzezinski. We're going to go with my boy there. Moving on, Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Perino. Now listen, I'm a big Jimmy Crute fan. I'm a big Jimmy Crute fan, but we have the same issue here with Jimmy Crute that we do with Ryan Spann. He lost to Anthony Smith, but it's even worse. He got doctor stoppaged in round 1. He got doctor stoppaged in round 1. After Anthony Smith doctor stoppaged him in round 1, he fought Jamal Hill, and Jamal Hill knocked him out in the first round. Then he had a draw against Azano Menafield, lost to Azano Menafield his next fight, and then had a draw with Rodolfo Bellato. Okay, so his UFC run, Jimmy Crute, has honestly been one for the ages, okay? He's facing Marcin Pinto. Marcin Pinto is coming off of a loss against Modestas Bukauskas. He lost in round 3, arm triangle choke. Previous to that, he beat up Devin Clark, decision unanimous. I think, and I don't even think this is a crazy take, Jimmy Crute is going to lose this one. We're going with Marcin Pinto. Jimmy Crute, I need a career resurgence from you, but I just don't think we're going to get it. You were handed 2 flat-footed individuals, and you couldn't really do anything with it. Then you fought a dude for 15 minutes, got a draw, and then you couldn't fight him after you couldn't win after you downloaded 15 minutes of information? You lost the rematch? Moving on, boys. Adam Fugat versus Islam Dudaladov. Now, Adam Fugat is 10-4. He's coming off of a win against Josh Quinton, but previous to that, he lost against Mike Malott in round 2 via guillotine choke. He also did lose to Michael Morales. Okay, so he has some solid losses on his resume, but his wins are all right. No real names that really jump off the page, but he's coming off of a win. Now, Islam Dudaladov, okay, is ranked number 8 in welterweight in Western Europe. He's ranked at number 11 in Europe. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. He only has one loss in his professional career. It's against a dude named Gojin Pilati, a dude that nobody's ever heard of. That's obviously how it goes. Same thing with Marab. But listen. I think that when you fight out of the UFC and you're not fighting in the UFC, the level of competition inside of the UFC is completely different. Now, Adam Fugat has been in the UFC since 2022. He's been fighting savages. He fought Michael Morales, his first UFC fight. Yakuso Kanusha, who is a savage, he knocked out round 1. Lost to Mike Malott, who's also a savage. And Josh Quinton, who is a UFC fighter. Okay, guys, he's a UFC fighter. Now, Islam Dudaladov is coming off of 2 wins. Well, 1 win in the Contender Series. He had a canceled fight in the Contender Series, and he won in round 1. But the Contender Series is the Contender Series. Look at Taliesin Texera. To be fair, Derek Lewis is big boy Derek Lewis, so I can't really fault the guy. I think I'm going to be going with Adam Fugat here. I don't think I like Islam's odds. And no, I don't like Islam Makhachev either, so you guys share the first name. No, I'm kidding. I'm going with Adam Fugat, though. I really am. I don't think that Islam Dudaladov has faced enough challenges, enough adversity, okay, in his fights and his squabbles to get this done. He does have some boxing fights on his resume, though. So his striking should be clean. Let's see if Adam Fugat can get that done. We're going with Adam. Moving on, boys. We're still on the prelims. How many fights are on this card? Adipa Gutierrez versus Robert Valiant. Now listen, Aldita Gutierrez is 7-1. Absolutely shredded. He's an animal. He's coming off of knocking out Jose Medina. I can't believe he did that. I actually really fuck with Jose Medina. You're a savage for that. Okay, listen. Robert Valiant is 10-5. I don't think I said Aldita Gutierrez's record, but his record is 7-1. Robert Valiant is 10-5. He's coming off of 2 back-to-back losses. This is the guy who lost to Torres Finley. He lost to Torres Finney. I said Finley, like the WWE hornswoggle guy. But you lost to Torres Finney. To be fair, that dude is absolutely massive, and he just kind of held you and stayed on top of you for the whole fight and just won a bullshit decision. But one judge did score your way, Valentine. Hey, he did score your way. Now, I do think that you're going to be coming into this fight with a little chip on your shoulder. You need to get your get back. But Gaudier kind of seems like a savage, okay? This dude looks like he's made of stone. I don't know if I'm going to pick you. He did knock out Jose Medina in round 1, and Jose Medina has a chin. Jose Medina is known as he's unknockoutable. His fight in the Contender Series, amazing. He's a dog, okay? Shout out to Jose Medina. I can't believe you did that to him. I'm going to be going with Abida Gutierrez. If you could do that to Jose Medina, I think you could do that to pretty much anybody. Moving on, boys. We're on 170. Francisco Padro versus Nikolay Vanaranaginov. Okay, listen, I'm not the best name pronuncier. I even fucked that word up. Listen, Francisco Padro is on a 2-fight losing streak, losing to Daniel Zellweger and Jake Matthews. Listen, you lost to Jake Matthews. You lost to Jake Matthews, brother. I think that's kind of all I need to say. Now, Nikolay whatever is also on a 2-fight losing streak, so they matched these dudes up perfectly. They were like, listen, we have the perfect match for you. This dude is an equal. He is an equal to you. You both are on a 2-fight losing streak. But Francisco Padrito has the age advantage. Excuse me, boys. He has the age advantage. He has the solid age advantage. This dude is 23 years old, and Nikolai is 35. All right? I don't know what to do with that information here. I think I'm going to go with Nikolai. Listen, Francisco looks absolutely massive. He looks like a solid individual, but nah. I changed my pick. We're going with Francisco Padrillo. Listen, what made me change my pick is Nikolai is coming off of getting knocked the fuck out by Austin Vanderford. Okay, now Francisco Pedro, while also on a 2-fight losing streak, has not lost via submission or knockout ever. He only has 3 losses via decision. So you're not going to get this dude out of here in the allowed time, I would assume. You're going to take him to the judges, and I don't know. It seems like Nikolai has the tendency to get his jaw broken. Okay, it looks like he has the tendency to have a little chicken jaw, boys. Moving on to the most overhyped fight on this card: Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. How many times was this fight canceled? How many times was this fight? I'm about to count it for you guys. How many times was this fight canceled? Once. For whatever reason, in my brain, this fight was canceled like 5 times. I've been waiting to watch this fight forever. Marvin Vettori, 19-7, coming off of getting his ass beat by Roman Dolidze for, I'm pretty sure it was 25 minutes. Pretty sure that was a main event. Was that not a main event? Yeah, it was a main event. For 25 minutes, he sat there and just got a beating handed to him in March, so it's kind of crazy to see him turn around this quickly. Now, Brendan Allen is coming off of 3 fights in a row loss. 3 losses in a row. To be fair, one of them wasn't karate combat, like just a grappling match against Carl Brahalio, but still, you lost to Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, and then you lost to Nasser Ghinaminov. Previous to that, he did beat up Chris Curtis and Paul Craig and Bruno Silva, and I could just keep going on. Andre Muniz. I think Marvin Vettori is going to get this done, boys. I'm sorry to say. I think Marvin Vettori is going to get this done. That fight with Roman Dolidze was him coming off of a 2-year layoff, and he looks pretty solid for a dude coming off of a 2-year layoff. If you compare that, I was going to say experience, but that performance that he had out there compared to like somebody like Michael Chandler, who went out there and you know what? Nah, I can't say that. Michael Chandler, when he came back, he fought Oliveira for a good 25 minutes, but all right. Marvin Vettori, he was coming off of a 2-year layoff, and he looked solid in there. He looked absolutely solid in there, and Marvin Vettori does not get knocked out. This is a dude who has 7 losses via decision, no losses via submission or knockout. None. Absolutely none, okay? Brendan Allen and Marvin Vettori have previously squabbled in a casino or whatever. Like, I could put the GIF up here. I probably am. But they have a previous 10-second encounter that maybe they could download a little. Oh, he bit on this feint. He dodged. He slipped a punch to the right. Oh, hey, you could download a little information from shit like that. So let's see who's the smarter of the two. I think Marvin Vettori is going to get this done. It's not because I'm Italian. I'm not betting on my own people. But you can't knock the man out. He's like a monster. He's a monster. You can't knock him out. He is unknockoutable. I promise you could tie Marvin Vettori to a chair and smack him with a baseball bat, and he's not going to sleep. He's going to stand there and look at you and just eat up the brain cells that are being dissolved from him and just not go to bed. Moving on, boys. We're going Marvin Vettori, if you haven't realized. Moving on, boys. Kyler Phillips versus Vicentius Oliveira. Now, listen, Kyler Phillips is 12-3. He's coming off of a loss against Rob Font, but he did beat Rononi Barcelos in 2023. So keep that in mind, boys. Now, Vicentes Oliveira is 22-3, coming off of a 5-fight winning streak where he beat Taid Nurmagomedov and Ricky Simon in his last 2. All right? I think it's pretty clear who we should be going for here. We should be going for Vicente Oliveira, but my brain is telling me go with Kyler Phillips. Go with Kyler Phillips. That's what my brain is telling me, okay? He beat Ronald Barcelios. He beat up Song Yadong. He won a fight against Song Yadong. I'm going Kyler Phillips against Vicente Oliveira. Vicente Oliveira has 22 fights. One on his resume. That's almost double the amount of fights Kyler Phillips has, and Kyler Phillips is older than Vicente Oliveira. So Vicente has the octagon experience to go out there and squabble him up, but brain is telling me Kyler Phillips, so I'm going to be going Kyler Phillips 100%. Moving on, boys. Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellweger. Listen, Daniel Zellweger, Danny Zellweger, however you want to say bro's name. I call him Danny Zellweger. Danny Zellweger, listen, is fighting Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson is coming off of 2 back-to-back wins, a decision win against Darius Flowers, and a knockout win against Ataman Azier. Daniel Zellweger, right, is coming off of a split decision loss against Esteban Ribovic, which was an absolute war. Previous to that, he went on a 3-fight run after losing a fight to Trey Ogden in 2022. All right? I was going to say Rami Barcelos for whatever reason, but Daniel Zellweger is one of the new, well, not the newest prospects, but he's one of the more hyped prospects at 155 coming up. Now, Michael Johnson, if you look at his resume, all red and green, brother. He has been in the UFC forever. He's been in the UFC since 2010. Since 2010, almost 15 years in the UFC. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Most of his losses come via submission, to be honest with you, looking at the stats. So, Daniel, hey, if you're looking for that, you should totally go right there, okay? Most of Daniel's wins come off of knockout. He has 7 wins via knockout. Daniel's only lost 2 fights to decision. He's never been knocked out or subbed before. I think I'm going to go with Daniel Zellweger. Listen, Father Time comes after us all. We've seen Michael Johnson get laid out by almost everybody on the fucking roster, if we're being honest with you, all right? I don't think that's even that controversial of a take, and you know we do controversial takes over here. Moving on, boys. Dan Ige, we're getting close to the main event. I feel it. Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. Listen, Dan Ige is coming off of an upsetting win over Sean Woodson. He was not supposed to win that squabble at all. Sean Woodson is a tall, framey dude. He used to be a heavyweight boxer, and now for whatever reason, he is in... What weight class is he in? What weight class are we in, brother? 145. Sean Woodson was a heavyweight boxer, and now he fights in the UFC at 145. Dan Ige went out there and absolutely destroyed my dreams of seeing Sean Woodson overtake the whole UFC. Sean Woodson, previous to losing to Dan Ige, was on a 1-2-3-4 fight winning streak, and he had a draw against Luis Sanita. All right, so Dan Ige is in there. He is, if you don't count that Sean Woodson win, he was on a 2-fight losing streak. He lost against Lerone Murphy, decision unanimous, and he lost against Diego Lopez, decision unanimous. That Diego fight was very close. Very close. Very close. And he took that on short notice, like a 10-hour short notice, 6-hour short notice fight. All right, so Dan Ige is fan-friendly. He's going in there to squabble. He's not shooting no takedowns. He's not going to hold you against the fence. He's going in there to stand and bang. He's fighting Patricio Pitbull. If you don't remember who Patricio Pitbull is, he is coming off of the Bellator signing. He got signed by Bellator. Same with, I don't think Patchy Mix got signed by, yes he did. Got signed with Patchy Mix. They both came over. They both fought in UFC 314, and they both lost. Now, Patricio Pitbull had a way better performance than Patchy Mix. Patchy Mix kind of stood there, didn't slip a jab, didn't show any footwork, didn't move his head, 0 head movement. Patricio Pitbull went out there and took his loss like a man. He actually fought back a little bit. Yair Rodriguez is not, just like a kid that you could steal candy from. You know what I'm saying? That's a formidable opponent right there. So, Patricio Pitbull's coming off that loss against Yair Rodriguez. I think he's going to be coming off of 2 losses. I think Dan Ige has that dog in him, and fighting in the UFC is not fighting in Bellator. No, it is not. Absolutely not. I got Dan Ige taking this KO, TKO, or maybe even by decision. I could see that. I could see Pitbull shooting some takedowns, scared of striking with Dan Ige, if we're being for real. Moving on, Kevin Holland randomly spawned on this card about 2 weeks ago. I swear he was not on this card as of 2 weeks ago, but it's okay. Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. If you're a fan of this channel, I do not bet on Kevin Holland. I will refuse to. Even if you put him against a toddler, I will say that the toddler has a way to win. The toddler has a path to victory. The toddler can poke the eyes. Okay, listen. Kevin Holland, in my personal opinion, is a fuck up. He's a loser. All right, I doing a lot better than me in life, if we're being honest with you. But he's a quitter. E-Rock is not no quitter. I'm in here. I'm a savage. I'm in the trenches, okay? I'm not quitting for shit. Kevin Holland is a crybaby and a quitter, and I don't respect that. That's what's for real. Listen, Kevin Holland is coming off of 2 back-to-back wins, one over Gunnar Nelson, who was coming off of a 2-year layoff and did absolutely fuck all in his fight, and a win against Vicente Luque, which was actually a pretty solid win. Shout out to Kevin for that. Previous to that, he got his ass choked out by Rainier de Ritter, okay, absolute savage, and then he got a rib injury against Roman Dolidze. Okay, Kevin Holland's resume is always win 1, lose 1. Win 2, lose 2. Always 50-50 with this guy. Never really anything else. He's going against Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel Rodriguez has been in the UFC for a little bit. Since 2020. He's been fighting for a bit. For whatever reason, I felt like he was new. Okay, but he has a win over Mike Perry in 2021. He has a win over Mike Perry in 2021. He beat up Kevin Lee, beat up Preston Parsons. He did go on a 3-fight losing streak, though. He lost to Neil Magny, Ian Machado Gary in the first round, and a decision unanimous loss against the fridge Kevin Gastelum. But Daniel Rodriguez is on a 2-fight winning streak, a decision split against Alan Moreno, which was actually a pretty good squabble, and a round 3 knockout against Santonino Prazimbinio. Okay? I cannot put my money on Kevin Holland. Absolutely not. I cannot. I'm so sorry. I cannot put my money on a dude who will go to a press conference and say, hey, bro, I'm not really that good at grappling, so please don't shoot the takedown in round 1. Can we fight for 1 round, and then you could submit me in the 2nd round? Why even show up if you know that you're going to lose? Well, I mean, not that. Why are you giving somebody the path to victory? There you go. You could show up if you know you're going to lose. That takes some courage, because you could still find a way to win. But telling somebody, hey, this leg is broken, so if you crack this leg 2 or 3 times, my corner might just call it off. It's pretty bullshit. We're going with Daniel Rodriguez by whatever. I'm gonna just money line on this fight. Okay, Kevin Holland's a spooky dude to bet against. Some days he wants to show up, some days he doesn't want to show up. All right, moving on to my main event. E-Rock's main event is actually the co-main. Normally, E-Rock's main event is super in the prelims. Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. Now listen, Paulo Costa is top 5 for me. That fight against Yoel Romero, top 5. 2019, I always rewatch that fight when I have nothing else to watch. Paulo Costa is coming off of losing 2 fights back-to-back. One to Sean Strickland, which was okay. And then 1 fight to Robert Whittaker, which I thought was extremely close, and he could have won that. He almost knocked Robert Whittaker out, by the way, with a spitting heel kick. Roman Kopylov is turning out to be an absolute animal. He's only 34 years old. He's 30. I thought this dude was like 20-something. I thought my brain was ready to read like 24, 23, 22. He looks like a child if you look at him. But Roman Kopylov is 34 years old. He's born in 1991. Shout out to him. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. He just beat up Chris Curtis and Cesar Almeida, but he did lose to Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Paulo Costa said in recent interviews with Ariel Helwani that he said he's going to bring back the pressure fighting that the fans used to love when he fought Yoel Romero and all those other dudes in Cowboy and shit like that. So I think we're going to be seeing a Paulo Costa W here. Paulo Costa knows if he loses this fight, not looking good. Paulo, you lose this fight, that means that you've won 1 fight in your last 5. You're 1-4 in your last 5 if you lose this fight. You need to win. This is a must win. This is a must win for the Secret Juice, man. If you don't, you will be absolutely shit out of luck of a contract. You will be on the next bare knuckle boxing tournament. Let's keep it a buck. Actually, that might be a good career path for you. $25 million prize pool, $15 million first place prize if you win. Get the bare knuckle box Yoel Romero again. Doesn't sound like a bad time. I might be hey, this might slowly be turning into a BKFC channel. Okay, boys. I think that Paulo Costa knows that this is a must-win fight for him. He has to win this fight. He's not going to be drinking the wine. He is going to be drinking the Secret Juice. He's going to come out there locked in and spinning heel kick Roman Kopylov into the dirt. That's my prediction for that fight. All right, boys. Moving on to the main event. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. You guys are not going to like my prediction for this fight. They took Ilia Topuoria's belt that he just I was going to say stole, but he rightfully took it from Max Holloway after he ethered him in front of millions of people. They just gave it back to Max, said, here you go, buddy. Have something to fight for. Let's let Dustin have his special day. We are in Louisiana, New Orleans. We're in the Smoothie King Center. Dustin's going to be having Lil Wayne walk him out. Lil Wayne might end up wrapping the belt around him if he wins, but Dustin's not going to win. Dustin has nothing to fight for. Win, lose, or draw, you're waking up tomorrow as a retired man. Okay? You knock out Max Holloway round 1, you're not calling out Ilia Topuria. Alright? You go in there and you're having a tough fight and your nose is broken like what happened to Justin Gaethje, you might just lay down. Okay? Because this is the last fight. On the other hand, everybody Dustin Poirier knows will be in attendance, so maybe he does have something to squabble up for, okay? He is up 2 fights against Max Holloway. Max Holloway has never won a trilogy fight. He's never won a fucking rematch, okay? He's never won a rematch. Lost all 3 fights against Volk. Lost 2 fights not back-to-back, but lost 2 fights against Dustin. Max, this is your way of starting your career back up, okay? After Ilia just sucked the soul out of you. You've been looking old as hell in all these interviews that I'm watching. It's a little ridiculous. But, Max, this is how you get some shine, okay? Take something that was made for Dustin Poirier and take it as your own. This is now your pay-per-view. Absolutely it is. Holloway, go out there, spark Dustin Poirier and say, listen, I want my rematch against Ilia Topuria. Ilia, you fought me after I had to make a weight cut to 145 after I just fought at 155. My body was ready to fight at 155. You don't want to see me now. Say something like that. Max Holloway's been saying in interviews like, hey, Ilia's last 3 is pretty not impressive. Max, you're on his resume. Like, okay, Max. All right, Maxie. Okay. We're going Max Holloway, boys. Those are my predictions for UFC 318. Not a bad card. Let's break this down for TikTok. If you made it to the end, boys, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. I'm going to be doing this quick little thing just for TikTok. No, actually, no, I don't, because I do the green screen thing now. Hey, we're upgrading, we're moving. I'm starting to try to stream UFC 5 on TikTok, and I want to learn how to duo stream so I can do it on YouTube too, okay? I'm pretty sure I have to pay for that, but we'll figure it out, boys. Anyways, those are my picks for UFC 318. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you tap in, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Later.